Video caught the violent detainment. The man punched several times. His son says he was also pepper sprayed.
Federal agents are being accused of being too rough with a man they detained in Santa Ana, California. However, Homeland Security is saying, hold on, he assaulted our agents with a weed whacker. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try and break this case down, and we have a few other cases we're going to talk about as well, so make sure to stick around for that. Now, before we start the video, make sure to please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, but it also helps others see the videos as well, and I think people want to see what's happening right now in California. Here we go.
To a viral video of a man being detained and repeatedly punched by a federal agent. It's in Santa Ana, and it's sparking a lot of outrage in that community.
Dozens of protesters have since taken to the streets in support of the husband and father of 3 U.S. Marines. KTLA5's Sarah Welsh spoke to one of his sons and joins us live in Orange with more.
Okay, so first things first, on the TV broadcast and in the post you see right here, there's really no mention about the weed whacker or making it anything important. However, I do want to point out, in the media's post, you can see this weed whacker in the road.
Hi, Courtney. Good evening. As you can imagine, the son is outraged and heartbroken as his father sits in federal detention tonight. They told us his dad is a hard-working, tax-paying immigrant, and no matter his status, no one should be treated this way.
Now here's where things get interesting. We can actually compare where the media started their video compared to Homeland Security because they're using the same original clip. Now the media started their broadcast video when the man was being hit on the ground. However, when you scroll up, that doesn't occur until 7 seconds into the original clip. So what part did we miss in that 7 seconds? Well, this is it. And again, Homeland Security is saying you missed out the beginning of the original clip, and that's when the man was trying to assault agents with a weed whacker. And again, I do want to clarify, on my channel, we don't condone violence. We're just trying to break down what's the right story and what's wrong and try to give everybody the right information.
Same time.
To see his dad, a gardener with his weed whacker in hand, running from agents who chased him down in a parking lot in Santa Ana Saturday.
I think part of it was racial profiling. I think that they probably assumed since he was just working the landscaping that he probably had no documentation or anything like that.
So now we can see the media is using that 7-second clip to show everybody, well, he was running away from officers, and you can see the weed whacker, he was running away, and that's when he started getting hit by the officers. However, the same news organization did not clarify that in the original clip, and again, they started the timestamp 7 seconds into the video, which is why Homeland Security is like, hold on, you guys are missing the context and the beginning of the video. Now, before we keep breaking this down, make sure to please subscribe to my channel. This is what we do here. We cover events like this all the time, and we make sure to hold our elected officials accountable. Let's continue. Okay, so this is all we have to work with as far as Homeland Security's claim that a man is coming after them with a weed whacker. Number one, what we can see in this very short clip is that a man is holding a weed whacker, and he's holding it up in the air, and obviously the agents are deeming it a threat, thus they have engaged pepper spray. Number two, after the pepper spray was engaged, the weed whacker is still up in the air, and it doesn't look like agents are really running after him. It looks like they're either guiding him or waiting for other agents to tackle him. Number three, Homeland Security did not clarify when they were assaulted with the weed whacker. I just want to point out we don't have the clip where Homeland Security is pulling the weed whacker or took the weed whacker from the man. We know it happened because the weed whacker is on the ground away from the man. The reason why this is all relevant is because if there was a scuffle and the man was still holding the weed whacker, that would be classified as assault if the weed whacker is in his hands and he touches one of the agents. And again, I do want to point out, we know for a fact the man was resistant. Even the media says he was running away, and again, we have this clip.
I'm confused and my heart is broken because I love my country.
So much so, Alejandro joined the Marines, as did his two other brothers who are currently on active duty. Their father, Narciso, came here from Mexico in the 90s for a better life.
My parents always taught me, respect everybody, love your country. He has no criminal history.
Others would argue he broke federal law for not having papers.
Okay, so make sure you leave your comments down below how you feel about all of this. I really tried to gather all of the data and give you guys the full story so you can have an informed opinion. Now let's continue to this.
The things that has been consistent, especially with what I've said every time I've had the opportunity to speak about the brave men and women of ICE, is the fact that if you look before January 20th and even after January 20th, the men and women of ICE did not have to have masks on their face. Me personally, I don't want those officers having to wear those masks because it's hot, it's dangerous. But you look at what's going on right now. ICE agents are being at a horrible rate. You know, over the weekend we had ICE officers' names, addresses, families, Instagrams, Facebook posted and spread all around the city of Portland.
Okay, so now this is a very unique challenge for Homeland Security. We are starting to see protesters show up to the hotels in which Homeland Security is trying to sleep, and local law enforcement now has to block off the hotels from protesters. This is from Huntington Beach.
Saying no rest for ICE. And you're seeing it in Los Angeles. People are flagging where their hotels are. This weekend, instead of having peaceful protests at spots in Los Angeles, they had agents' cars rammed and surrounded in intersections. There has to be a point where we can work with elected officials to come up with ways to ensure that ICE is able to do their mission safely, and the men and women of ICE do not have to worry about political rhetoric or outside agitators affecting their jobs, families, their safety, things like that. It's time that, you know, common sense needs to prevail in this, and ICE needs to be seen as the effective law enforcement tool it is. But we also need the help of elected officials. They need to help us not only do our job, but keep the men and women of ICE safe.
Now, here's where things also get interesting. So obviously you have the leaking of names of Homeland Security officers to really disrupt them. But on the flip side, you also have local officials saying, hey, Homeland Security is in the area, so nobody show up.
The city of Pasadena canceled several activities today after video surfaced showing federal activity this morning at a local park. City leaders say it's a safety concern.
So this right here is the other issue for Homeland Security. When local officials are tipping off to their local community, hey, we have agents in the area, don't show up, Homeland Security is also seeing this as a disruption in their operations. Leave your comments down below how you feel about this.
On the corner from the park, federal agents were also spotted entering an apartment building on North Marengo Street, apparently grabbing a few more people there. Because of the early morning operation at a city park, Pasadena quickly canceled swim lessons and other programs at Villa Park, Robinson Park, and Victory Park today.
We don't want to risk an innocent child, a parent, a coach, a referee being injured, and so we feel compelled to cancel activities.
These agents appear to have the word police written across their vest, but like in many of the other raids we've seen in recent weeks, it's not exactly clear what federal agency they're from and if they're just casting a wide net or going to specific spots for specific people.
Now, here's where things get interesting. The Trump administration's original quota has always been 1,000 illegal immigrants a day. But what we know now is that the number's between 3,000 to 4,000 illegal immigrants a day for deportations. And especially in the Los Angeles area and surrounding areas in California, this is a hot spot for the Trump administration. So right now what it looks like is that the Trump admin, Homeland Security, they are going everywhere in these areas to include parks to try and find illegal immigrants and hit the quotas that the Trump administration wants. Again, around 3,000 to 4,000 illegal immigrants a day.
Did not identify themselves, did not showed up in unmarked vehicles.
State Senator Sasha Renee Perez, who represents this district and was also out here earlier today, says on Monday she's introducing legislation to make these ICE agents identify themselves, including with some sort of name or ID plate being worn to show which agency they're with.
People are scared to go outside. They're scared to even enjoy themselves, and that includes American citizens. I've started carrying my passport on me. I'm a state senator.
And obviously that legislation can't pass because these are federal agents and state, local authorities, officials cannot tell Homeland Security what to wear or do unless it's passed through Congress or the SOPs, standard operating procedures, all change for Homeland Security officers. So that's simply not going to happen. Now, I want to show you this clip because I'm really curious how you feel about this.
I am here to conduct an inspection of the Metropolitan Detention Center, and the reason is because 6 Pasadena residents were detained this morning, and we have the right to know what is happening with them. When they were detained, a young man on Los Robles and Orange Grove at the Winchell's Donut, he took a video of an ICE agent license plate, and the ICE agent jumped out of the car and pointed at a gun as though he was going to shoot the young man just for shooting a video of that license plate. It's outrageous. So I have now turned on this button to be let into this facility, as is my legal right as a member of Congress. And each time they have, in essence, ignored me. And that is something that goes against the law, that is not right, and that is, in fact, completely outrageous. And there are so many people that are concerned about these terrible raids that are now happening all across LA County, including the U.S. citizen who was detained in Pico Rivera. It's not just those who are possibly undocumented, but everybody, those with green cards, even U.S. citizens. In Adelanto, I actually saw a DACA recipient who was there detained in Adelanto. So everybody is being affected, and we cannot let this happen.
This is becoming another norm of elected officials showing up to these Homeland Security detention centers, especially in the California area, especially in sanctuary states and cities. I'm only trying to highlight this for you guys because this seems to be the response for anybody who's anti-deportations or anybody who's trying to stick up for their residents. One thing that we're really noticing is that these sanctuary policies really have zero validity as far as superseding federal laws. What we're seeing is these federal agents are coming into areas when people were promised this could never happen. If you're landscaping on the side of the road, you'll never be deported. You're in a sanctuary city and sanctuary state. I make these videos to show people that is not the case anymore.
You guys, this morning, this gentleman here was buying tamales from this lady over here, and he got taken. He got picked up. Okay, this gentleman here, people are trying to locate the company now, and the white car right over here, this is one of the intersections where they got picked up. Okay, so that just tells you that even people who are working get picked up. Okay, this is a corner. If you do roam around here, please put your windows down if they're tinted, because it gets us confused with ICE, because that's how they come. All right, just want to let you guys know. I'm at the corner of Garfield and Park, City of Pasadena, Villa Park. This is where they canceled all the games for all the kids and all the parks in Pasadena. The gentleman right here that was in this car got picked up. This person also got picked up. So I just want to let you guys know.
This man, who does not have papers, took the opportunity to sell hot food. He's been hiding out at home. His protection Saturday was the crowd.
I was born in Mexico, but I was raised out here, so out of fear, I don't come out. So I'm trying to take advantage to make a little money to support my family.
So as you can see, even the local media has absolutely no problem of showcasing somebody who's like, yeah, I am an illegal immigrant. I'm just trying to make some money here. I am hiding out as well. So just wanted to show you guys that. This is a new America as far as the sanctuary states and cities, and I think California is learning the hard way. They never really had this much power to begin with, and I don't think they ever expected an administration to come in so hard and to flood the streets and start deporting people left and right. I also want to say this was never going to be the intention of the Trump administration. It was always, if you had walking or marching orders, you will be deported. Just leave the country and maybe you can come back. Or it was people in the prison systems. But now that these states and officials are fighting back, this is what's happening. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you all learned something. God bless, and we'll see you all later.